We are back with a look at the odds to win the NCAA Men's Division I basketball tournament, according to our friends at FanDuel. And just like our friends at Sportsline, who think that we're going to get an all-one seed Final Four for the first time since 2008, the four teams with the shortest odds to win the whole thing are your four #1 seeds, but not in order of the seeds. Duke with the shortest odds. Auburn at plus 500 has the third shortest odds, but they are the #1 overall seed in this year's NCAA tournament. Russ Taylor back here on the HQ with Mackenzie Brooks of Sportsline. We were just talking about that. The #1 seeds, Sportsline agrees, they're the #1 seeds, and they're worthy of making the Final Four. Some of the other seeds, I think you guys don't necessarily agree with, right?
There's a couple like red flags raised, like, oh, and here's the thing. This is me saying, you know, your resume's gone, whatever. We have 68 teams now. How would we rank them? How would we seed them? We'll call it the sim seed here. Teams that I think are better or worse than, you know, that the actual seed is implying.
Let's start with a positive. We don't want anybody getting mad at you, right off the bat.
Let's warm up.
Texas Tech is a 3 seed, yet you somehow feel like they're undervalued. Why?
I just feel passionate that they really should be a 2 seed. We have this as the 5th best team in the country here. I mean, they are top 10 in basically every single metric that really does matter here. So you would think that they could get that 2 seed. And we have them beating St. John's, which we mentioned before. We have them going to the Elite 8. So that's why it feels like they should be the 2 seed in this region, the situation that we put them in.
All right, so another team that, look, you've already upset the people from Memphis. We know that.
It's just double down.
Well, that's just, you know, Sportsline's crunching numbers. They don't like the way the numbers are coming out of the computer. But Memphis is a team that they're a 5 seed, and I know you think that's a little overvalued.
It's just like, does the American Conference winner need a 5 seed? Like, is that really? Listen, they're like 28-5, and if you're 28-5, you should be getting a 2 seed, right? But people realize, okay, this clearly isn't a 28-5 type of team. They're barely winning some of these games. Not to bring betting into it, but when they're winning, they're not really covering any of them. So sometimes that makes you realize a team's true colors in a situation. And we also just like Colorado State specifically in the matchup with them here. So again, it's just 5 feels high for this specific conference winner. All
right, so maybe the AAC you feel like isn't exactly up to. The SEC got a record 14 teams into this tournament. Why do you think then Texas A&M at a 4 seed is overvalued?
If we were re-ranking all these teams, I'd put them at 8. I just think the lack there of high ceiling for this offense is going to run them into a lot of trouble. And you look at the specific matchups that they have coming for them too, it makes it a big problem. Compare them to the other 4 seeds and compare them to the other 4 seed spreads going into this in that first round. Texas A&M has like the smallest spread of all of them, making it closer to a pick 'em. You see the other 4 seeds in really, really comfortable spots here. So again, KenPom, you know, they like him better than us. Net ranking likes him better than us, but they still would only make them a 5 seed. So nobody's calling this some crazy team. I think they should be an 8 seed.
All right, look, 2 sports cliches that make complete sense this time of year.
Yes.
Is styles make fights. So that should be a lot of fun to watch which teams match up, how they match up, what kind of games we're going to see, and matchups matter. Right? And I know you guys take that into consideration. So when you look at the whole bracket, which team actually has the best chance to move through and win the whole thing?
It is Duke here, and I know we mentioned it earlier, and you look at the odds makers there too, like their odds got shorter once we got the full bracket. Sure, they were up there in the top 2 shortest odds, but you saw Auburn's odds fall and you saw Duke's odds get shorter. That's odds makers agreeing, hey, this looks like a pretty favorable situation for Duke over here. And it's basically the same thing. We have 98% chance to make it out of the round of 64 into the round of 32, 84% chance against Baylor there, 80% versus Arizona, 76% chance when you go head-to-head versus Bama. So that's why you see such a high 51% chance to make it to the Final Four. We never are giving people over a coin flip to make it to the Final Four, no matter, you know, how great your odds are. So clearly this is just a specific situation, obviously hoping for a healthy Cooper Flag here. And you look at the net rankings region by region, the average net ranking of all of them. For Duke, it ranks 67. And you see other regions rank around 50. So clearly, like, the average, you know, power ranking of this specific region is just so much weaker than the other ones.
All right, so you got Duke with the best shot at getting to the Final Four. We know Sportsline has all 4 #1 seeds going to the Final Four. Who does Sportsline having win the tournament and why?
It's Duke. We have them projected with a 6-point win over Auburn in this game. And a lot of it goes back to what we saw earlier in the year. We saw Duke with a 6-point win at home here. Slightly just outshot them from 2, slightly out-rebounded them. Very similar projected turnover margin. I'm not saying this is like going to be a blowout by any means. But again, Auburn's strength isn't exactly rebounding here. So if this does become a matchup between the two of them, I know it's hard to beat the same team twice. If someone's going to do it, it's a healthy Cooper Flag with this Duke team.
All right, Mackenzie Brooks bringing the numbers and the knowledge here on a Monday. Mackenzie, thank you so much. And March Madness Live is nearly upon us. You can watch every men's game streaming live. Go to NCAA.com for that. Any game that is on CBS, you can stream on Paramount Plus. March Madness Live from March 18th till the championship game on April 7th.